Yes, guys. Hello and welcome back to Spurs Related. I hope you're all doing well. It's Monday, got the Monday blues, but we're back talking Tottenham, talking Spurs, talking transfers. And as you can see by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot this season? A lot of people discussing who's going to win the Premier League. A lot of people discussing who's going to get top four. But today, myself and Jack thought, do you know what? There's not been enough talk about Haaland and Kane and Nunez and Jesus. Obviously, a lot of people are going to say Kane, but let's get into things. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Mate, I'm brilliant. So happy to finally jump back on the stream. I've been missing it. I've been a busy boy this last week, but, you know, nothing better talking Spurs, talking about the Premier League. Like, James, we're only, I think, nearly 2 weeks away from the start of the Premier League season, and this is an exciting time to be a Spurs fan. And to be fair, it's an exciting time for English football. Look at all these transfers that are being made. Look at Erling Haaland, one of the best youngsters in the world, coming to the Premier League. So there's a lot of good strikers out there, and I can't wait to see who yourself and the chat think is going to be the top Premier League scorer this season.
Absolutely love it, mate. And I can see you've been so busy. You've got yourself a new Spurs shirt, right?
Oh, mate, proper. Got my name on the back. I'm ready. This is the season. Yeah, got a nice little gift for my 18th birthday. And yeah, I love it. The colours, the yellow, I like it. What does the chat think? You've got a Premier League badge on here. I love it.
Love it, mate. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it, mate. Nice one. Cool. Let's obviously, as always, I can't even talk. Invite the Spurs related balls in on screen. I was going to say A&R as always, but Sandro was picked first on the comments. So pick yourself up, Sandro. And here's the other legend of many legends, A&R saying, real eyes, realize, real lies. Sit with that one for a minute. Do you know what? It's been a long day for me and Jack. I have not got time for tongue twisters right now, but I love it. I'm sure you'll get me at another point. Rejected by everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tuchel's Tricky Blues. Yeah, I think they've missed out. I know they missed out on Koundé, haven't they, Jack?
Yeah, it looks like he's heading off to Barcelona. Barcelona, James, we'll quickly touch on this. I know it's all about Spurs and the Premier League, but how many signings have they made for a team that is just in so much debt? Apparently, rumours 700 to 800 million. They're signing every player under the sun. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Really. You've got to say it must be something to do with the investment they've got. I think they've had a big investment, and they've kind of sold off their media rights for the next few years in advance, and also Spotify. Obviously, they've had a big impact on that as well. So I'm not really surprised. How are you lads going? We're good, man. We're good. Like we said, just busy, but we've got to get the stream going. We've got to get the grind going, and we absolutely love it. Leo's thinking Kane 100% for the Golden Boot. 12 days until we play Southampton. That's crazy. I got the unreleased third kit, the light blue and black one. Go on, Archie. I like that. Louis saying evening, lads. Louis, thanks for joining as always, mate. Really appreciate the continued support. Sandro saying love the kit, but you should have put the Champions League badge on there since we're in.
Sorry, James, to interrupt, but I was thinking I got it as a present actually from one of my closest mates. His name's Billy. It's James's cousin actually, and he actually, I said, I like the Champions League badge, but he made a good point. Antonio Conte usually thrives in the Premier League. The Champions League is not one of his fortes, and if we do get knocked out nice and early, but we're still in the Prem ranks, who knows? I've got this bad boy. I've got this bad boy on here. So I know
you got the Prem badge.
Pardon?
You got the Premier League badge.
I've got the Premier League badge, but I did think the Champions League. But maybe I'll have to get two.
Okay, nice. Since you're in the comment, a certain North London team aren't like it. Kev's in here. Big up, Kev. Welcome on in, mate. Hope you're having a good day so far. He says, "Is Zaniolo a smokescreen for the signing of Maddison?" What do you think, Jack?
To be honest, they've all gone a bit quiet recently. I don't think it's a smokescreen. I've heard Paratici loves Zaniolo, and why wouldn't he? He's a really talented player. Obviously, he had a lot of injuries recently. And Alistair Gold also said that Maddison's a bit quiet, but if there's an opportunity, he wouldn't be surprised if Spurs go for it. So, to be honest, I don't think it's a smokescreen. I think we're just looking at both players and appreciate both of them.
Nice, absolutely love it. There you go, Kev. He's saying if Barcelona don't win anything in the next few years, they'll be genuinely be in tons of financial trouble. I think they already are, to be honest with you. I think they, like Jack said, they've kind of almost ignored it. So it's a very strange one. But anyway, guys, we will get on to the main talking point in just a minute. But before we do so, I want a quick chat about the friendly and how you guys thought it was. Obviously, we did the watch along on the channel. I know a few of you did turn up and you did enjoy it. So myself and Jack should be hosting one on Saturday for the Tottenham versus Roma match in Israel. I believe that is on Saturday. Let me just confirm the kickoff time.
Saturday, 7:45. Mourinho v Conte. Get the popcorn out. Watch me and James. Cool. I think it's going to be a good one.
7:15. So yeah, a little bit later one Saturday night. Should be a good one. It's in Israel, which is very random because that means it's going to kick off very late there. But yeah, hopefully you guys want to see another one of them. Yeah, I was just going to say, so Jack, obviously you didn't watch the Tottenham Rangers friendly, but did you get a chance to watch the highlights?
I did get to watch a bit of it. I was at a festival, like I said, but I come home in the day, so I did manage to watch it on a stream. So I did get most of it. So obviously not all of it, but from what I saw, I was relatively impressed, and I was catching up with the watch along later as well, James. And I thought that we pressed really high. I could see what Antonio Conte was implementing, and I thought Bissouma looked really tidy on the ball. I was really excited. As soon as he got it, he just looked composed in the midfield. I think Perisic put in a lovely cross to Richarlison as well. I think he's going to be brilliant on that left-hand side. And yeah, no, it was interesting. What can I say about Harry Kane, though? He's just that step above. He's the difference, and this season he's going to be pivotal, as he always has been, to our success. So, no, to be honest, I'm just so excited. Looking forward to another pre-season match. To be honest, some would argue with me here, but I'd quite like a bit longer for pre-season to let Perisic, let Bissouma, let Richarlison bed in a bit more, and maybe a couple more signings. But no, just pure excitement from my end.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you said, it was so good to see some of the new signs bed in, and Perisic for me was the most surprising one. I didn't expect him to have the legs he did, and the fact he was bombing up and down that wing, putting in crosses, very dangerous crosses. Richarlison just over the bar with one of the attacks from that cross. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal to see. 33 years old. People were questioning the age. I'm sorry. I know it's only one game, not even one game, 30 minutes, but he looked sharp as anything. And I think he's going to be a real surprise to many that maybe doubt that he's still got the fitness to play, especially in the Premier League. And I think he's really, really, really impressed me. I thought Bissouma had a okay game. I think he's definitely not 100% fit yet after COVID. I thought Jed Spence settled in well, a couple of really nice tackles.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. That's exactly what I thought. I think he slotted in quite nicely, didn't he? Made a few interceptions early on when it was 2-1 tight. So, yeah, I'd like to see his main side. We thought, James, we keep talking about his attacking output, that his ability to run up and down, but sometimes tracking back. But he looked keen to impress. So that's hopefully things to come.
I mean, he put in a slide tackle in the box in his first literal 1 minute in a Spurs shirt. He could have literally given away a penalty, which would have probably been remembered forever. So the fact he did that and took a risk and it paid off was just nice to see. It looks like the kid is fearless, and I think he's going to be very, very good. I think he's really going to challenge Doherty and Emerson for that starting place at right wing back. And then obviously we saw a bit of Lenglet, nice little block, one or two blocks, but at the end of the day, he nearly put it in the back of his own net on one of them as well. But again, I thought he was pretty all right. Didn't have a whole lot to do. Who else did we see? We covered Bissouma, Perisic, Lenglet, Spence. Forster came on and got booed by the Rangers fans because obviously the ex-Celtic. And who was the other signing? Richarlison, yeah. I wasn't blown away by him. I still need to be convinced on Richarlison, like I said, but we'll see.
Quickly, just to cover on that, because we always have these contrasting debates with Richarlison. Well, I think we both like him quite now. I think you're warming up to him, but I totally know what you mean. I think Richarlison is just going to take a while to bed in, work with the system. But I'll tell you one thing I loved. Him and Romero working together, pressing, their stuff they do, where Romero passed the ball to Richarlison pretended to kick the ball away and just left it. It was brilliant. Just seeing them working together as a team. I think they're going to be pivotal because we need that winning mentality. We need that. I don't care about the other team. I'm going to do everything I can to win. And yeah, I hope that's a sign of things to come because we need that winning mentality. We need that fighting spirit. So no, I love to see that. And I think he made some nice runs. His dribbling is brilliant. He's fast as well. Let's not forget that. He got taken out a couple of times. So I think he's going to provide really great competition to Kulusevski. And he also looked right. Let's say that he's going to be
good
this year. One thing I said to you, James, as well is his right foot. That's the only thing. I think he was through a couple of times. I want him to be strong. I believe in that right foot because honestly, if he can be bow-footed and use that right foot when he's through on goal, he's going to be so good next season. He's creative. His left foot is a joke. But if he gets that time on the right foot when he's through on goal and he creates that space for himself, he's going to be one of the best wingers in the Premier League next season. I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just don't understand why he keeps going on his left. It's becoming predictable. It's a bit like a Lamella situation where you know where he's going to go. Listen, he was one of the best players on the pitch for us, especially that first half. He played very, very well. And he did make a dive, which I wasn't too impressed with. But at the end of the day, he had a couple of opportunities where he probably should have shot on his right foot, like you said. And there must be some kind of right foot there. I said it on Wearetottenhamtv when I went on there after the game. I said, he's a professional footballer. Even if his right foot is a 3 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, he must still be able to strike a ball. And he's probably going to have more joy doing that than if he keeps cutting in and getting found out. So
I think sorry, James, carry on.
No, I was just going to say that's one thing I'd like to see more of, him cutting in on his right.
Yeah, and I think it's more mentality, to be honest, because if you remember last season, the way he's driven, his close control, he was whipping balls across the box from 60-yard passes with his right foot. So I think in front of goal, he might just need that confidence. I'm sure it's mentality. And I'm sure if we can see it from watching streams, guys, Antonio Conte will be right on that. And I'm sure he'll be working on it right now. So I'm sure we've got nothing to worry about.
100%, Jack. Sandro saying the level of Perisic is just so refreshing to see. Our wing-backs through the years have been far from ideal. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I think the last couple of seasons, considering how much of a pivotal position it is to Antonio Conte, we're used to having Danny Rose and Cole Walker, Kieran Trippier left, and we've kind of struggled in that position. So having Perisic and hopefully a shining Spence would be brilliant. I think SpursRelated, we did a video saying that, is it the new Danny Rose and Kyle Walker? Is it a sign of things to come? Fullback pushing up the field, strong, fast, willing to get on the end of crosses, or putting in crosses and getting on the end of crosses, like we saw with Doherty scoring at the end of last season. So yeah, no, I'm excited, James. I keep saying it, but it's true.
Nice one. Archie's asking, will Perisic start for the Southampton game? What do you think?
I don't see it. I think he's going to start with Sessegnon, to be honest. I feel like he's going to start with Sessegnon and Doherty. I think Emerson looks like he's probably the third choice. But then again, we say that he might be first choice. Like, this is the thing. We don't really know with the right wing-back situation. For me, I think Doherty and Sessegnon will start the first game.
Cool. Okay. Guys, if I don't know why my light keeps flickering. I don't know if you can see I got some kind of ghost in my room. So if we have a massive blackout, you know why. Suka is saying Tottenham wants to sign Zaniolo, but Juventus has to get rid of some players. What do you think?
Juventus has to get rid of some players. I don't know how that links. Maybe I've missed something there, but I know Zaniolo's from Roma, and Dybala's just gone to Roma. So surely that frees up a space as they like similar positions. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zaniolo to Spurs is something that could happen. But then again, I'm sure he'll be quite pricey. But then we've heard that maybe they're interested in Joe Rodon, and Højbjerg's been linked with Roma in the past. So is there a deal to be done? I hope so, because he's a really talented player, as long as it's for the right fee.
Nice one. We've got Sam Gam, the Man City fan in here, saying Erland is winning the Golden Boot. I'm telling you now. Listen, mate, I think he's favourite. I think it's fair to say that, to be honest with you. The guy is an absolute animal. He's an absolute freak. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, mate. We're going to predict who we think in just a minute. But thanks for joining us anyway, mate, even though you're a Man City fan. We'll try and convert you to a Tottenham fan. We'll do our best. Would you guys focus now on the Kane contract, new signings, or departures? I personally would focus on the departures. I think that's the most important thing next, clearing the dead wood. Contract, obviously, the Kane contract is very important as well. Of course it is, but new signings, I think we're only going to sign one more max, maybe two max. I just can't see more than one myself, but let's see. What do you think, Jack?
I really like this question a lot. I think all three are extremely important. I still think we need two more signings for myself personally. Departures definitely needs to be done. That's the priority. Let's be honest, if we want to build a good squad morale, keep everyone happy, everyone fighting for the same goal, we need to get rid of Deadwood because they're not going to be playing. Antonio Conte has no problem excluding players that are not in his plans. And we don't want that. We don't want good players sitting in the under-23s. Let's just get them out. They've had their time at Spurs. Let's move on. Kane contract, extremely important, but I don't see him signing unless he sees us having a stellar season, a new contract. So I don't think it's one where I feel like that just has to be done. But probably at the end of next season, depending on how we get on. And new signings, we need 1 or 2, creative midfielder and centre-half for me. Simple as that.
Yeah, and it would probably be the perfect window after that, wouldn't it, really? Cool. Let's have a quick look at the rest of the chat. Zaniolo constantly injured by the looks of things, says Finn. I know he's saying Juventus have been linked with Zaniolo for ages. Juve fans have been speaking about him too. They just need to offload just like us, Rabiot, Ramsey, etc. Golden Boots in here saying, hello, my good fellows. Good Golden Boot, thanks for joining us, mate. I love that profile picture. Classic Sonny won that one. Kev saying Haaland gets injured again. He's not winning the Golden Boot, mate. I guess it all depends on his fitness. I think you're right. I complain a lot. Thanks for joining, mate. Always really appreciate your comments offline and online. Really thanks for the support, mate. Leo Bull saying, I think Kane will explode this season and have his best goal tally to date. Think he could be right, honestly. I mean, he's obviously naturally progressing more in terms of a deeper role, but we started to see the goals flow at the end of last season, especially when those wing backs were providing, and with a bit of quality at wing back, especially on that left. I fancy Kane to get a few more goals this season. What do you think, Jack?
100%. Harry Kane next season is going to be a stellar season, providing he stays injury free. So let's make sure Antonio Conte and the fitness department to make sure that's done, because let's be honest, he's so pivotal to everything we do. The way he drops deeps, creates space for others, scores so many goals. I honestly see Harry Kane having a 25-plus goal season. And with the likes of Kulusevski, Son, even midfielders, hopefully next season, maybe seeing Bissouma, Højbjerg chipping with the goals. Hopefully Bentancur can grab a couple. And then even the wing backs, James. Don't forget, I'm sure Ivan Perisic is looking to get a few goals next season. We saw his stats plan. So, yeah, there's going to be goals all across the pitch, and I can see Harry Kane getting 25 plus.
25 in the Premier League?
In the Premier League, 25 plus. I don't think that's ridiculous. Hey, Harry Kane, don't forget, scored 31 goals in the Premier League. I think 1 behind Salah. I can see him having a similar season. Honestly, I think providing he stays injury-free, Antonio Conte will want Harry Kane near the box this season. Don't get me wrong, getting that balance. Creating space, but scoring goals. Because, James, we've got other players to do the creative side. Yes, Harry Kane's unbelievable at it, but if he can focus on scoring these goals and making sure Spurs get over the line in these big games, because Harry Kane is our main goal scorer, let's not forget that. That is his main job still. As creative as he is, his main job as a striker is to score goals. I can seriously see him getting 25-plus goals. Can you not?
Not 25. I mean, think about it. Son and Salah, I think, got 22 or 3 this season, right?
Yeah, but I don't think this was a big scoring season. I really don't. I think, clip it now. Jack says Harry Kane is scoring 25-plus goals next season, providing he stays injury-free. I can seriously see it happening.
Wow, statement. I've been on Paqueta and Torres in, and this will be an amazing window. It says, complain, the best window ever. Thoughts on Tanganga? Would you want to see a buyback clause? 100%. I don't want to see this guy just completely vanish off our books. I think if we sell him, we need a buyback clause. If we loan him, we get him back if he does well. I think it's got to be assessed like a Tomori situation where Chelsea kind of let him go and realised that he was never going to get back in their 11. And actually, I think Chelsea, in a way, will probably regret in a couple of years Tomori going to AC Milan on a permanent, because I think he's a good player.
Tomori, I said it from the first day I saw him play. When he was at Chelsea, he was phenomenal. I'm surprised, and I think he must have had a drop down in form, or they favoured their other centre halves for a bit. But he looks great tomorrow, and fair play to him. And I'm sure Tanganga would do the same if he went to AC.
100%, 100%. Yeah, guys, I've just had a little look at the likes. 10 likes. There's about 20 of you watching across all socials. Smash the thumbs up for more content. You know how it works by now. Subscribe if you're new so you can chat. And yeah, just support the hell out of this channel, please, guys. It really does mean a lot, honestly. All you guys turning out stream after stream after stream. Honestly, it means the world to myself, Jack, and Andre. So please do keep supporting, guys. It really does help a lot. Guys, who's the best out of these creative midfielders? Berea, Zaniolo, Madison, Paqueta, or Mitrovic? Who's the... does he mean Milinkovic? Savic, maybe?
I think he means Mitrovic. I think he might have got a bit confused because Barella is a CDM and I'd say Mitrovic is a striker. I think that's who he was referring to.
Well, firstly, I'd just say Maddison out of all of them anyway.
Creative midfielder, if you're answering that, probably Maddison. Best player, I think Zaniolo might have something to say about that. I actually think, would I say that? Zaniolo fills me with a lot of excitement. I'll be really excited if Zaniolo comes to Spurs. He's fast, he's strong, he's got that athletic build. He's a bit of a risk, but I could see him being a stellar signing.
Okay. Leo's saying I back Kulu to top the charts on assists. Very good call, actually. Very good call.
Yeah. Kulusevski's creativity, that left foot, I think you could be right, Liverpool.
Haaland will only get around 10 this season while he adjusts to the Prem. Big statement. European Golden Boot for Kane. And Kane will have a season like 19-20 Lewandowski and 21-22 Benzema. So he thinks absolutely unreal, potentially even Ballon d'Or winning. Because let's be honest, carrying Benzema, I mean, what a season he's had. He's favourite for the Golden Boot because of how how amazing he was. Conte's teams score a lot of goals. Yeah, very true. I mean, I think we need to see maybe some more goals, more consistency against the smaller teams. Under Conte, obviously, we saw some goals flowing in against Everton, 5-0. We saw some big wins against Norwich. I think it was 5-0. But I think we need to get more consistent against the teams that maybe surprise us, play a low block. Obviously, last season we struggled against Burnley, but this season it could be maybe like a Nottingham Forest kind of team. Let's see what happens. Couple more comments and then let's talk about this Golden Boot because I think it really will cause a debate in the chat. Spurs will buy Barella next season, says Sukil, you could be right, mate. You could be right. Anami says, I love Zaniolo. Having a 6'1" giant will help us dominate the midfield in a 3-5-2 formation. Finn saying Harry Kane will simply never win the Ballon d'Or because he's British. I meant Sergej Milinkovic, I thought you did, of Lazio as a creative midfielder. Sorry, guys, for mixing up. No worries, mate. That's what I thought you meant anyway. And to be honest with you, I'd probably put him over Maddison if that's the case.
More of a box-to-box midfielder, but oh my word, he's a fantastic player. We said it. Massive statement signing. But if we're talking about pure creativity, I think James Maddison probably tops that. But as a player, definitely Milinkovic Savage.
There you go. Okay, listen, let's move on. Let's talk about this topic. Golden Boot winner. Obviously, we can do like top assists on another occasion. But first of all, I think potentially, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I think Golden Boot is obviously between any player, but realistically, I think it's between Kane, Son, Salah, Haaland, Nunez, Gabriel Jesus. Who else? I mean, who's Chelsea's number 9? Like, is Havertz going to be up there? I don't know.
Sterling, some people could say he's had 20-plus season goals.
Sterling, yes, Sterling maybe. But I think out of those 9 or 10 players, I think you have to consider maybe even Ronaldo if he stays. But
Ronaldo, yeah.
Personally speaking, I don't think there's any real contenders other than those guys. Of course, someone could surprise us. Jamie Vardy could start banging in the goals. But I guess Gabriel Jesus, I've got to say it, guys. I have to hold my hands up and say, I said about Richarlison, and no way am I giving up on him yet. It's been like a few games in the friendlies, but I really do think Gabriel Jesus could have been that one we maybe should have got. I really do think he's going to be really good for Arsenal. As much as it pains me to say, I think Gabriel Jesus is a perfect fit for Arsenal and what they are missing from him.
You've answered your own question there. For me, totally agree. Gabriel Jesus looks exciting player. I've said all along I would have had him at Spurs, but he's the perfect fit for Arsenal because he's their main man. He's the number 9. That's what he wanted to do. Richarlison for us was happy to be a versatile player, happy to come into the starting 11 in any of those front 3 positions. Jesus wanted to be the main number 9 striker. So, do you know what I mean? I think it weren't going to happen for Spurs.
Yeah, true. Couple more comments. Thanks for your opinion, guys. No worries, complain. Keep asking the questions, guys. We like to interact and answer the creative questions. Zaniolo worries me. I don't want a team party Tierney, Tomiyasu on our team. They're injured for 10 to 20 games. Yeah, true. Sandro, it's a very good point. Barrea would be harder to get than Bastoni, says Ayanami. I think Kane is going to be a monster this season. 30 goals in the Premier League. So you said 25. He thinks 30. Wow.
Class, but yeah. And you thought that was outrageous, didn't you, Jack? Well, not outrageous, but you thought that'd be a hard one to do.
Listen, I think that's going to be a tough one. What do you guys think about our starting midfield this season? I can't even talk. Sorry, guys. What do you both think our starting midfield will be next season? Quickly, I'll just go. I think the starting 11 will probably see a 5-2-3, or if you want to call it a 3-4-2-1, however you see it. Obviously, three centre backs, 2 wing backs, 2 midfielders, and then the front 3 in Kulusevski, Kane, and Son. I think the 2 that will start will be Bissouma and Bentancur, although he keeps playing Højbjerg in the friendly, so I don't know. It's a good question. I think if you play the 3 in midfield, you go Bissouma, Bentancur, Højbjerg, but then you argue, well, Skip's been phenomenal. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes. Yeah, I think Bentancur Bissouma is the one that excites me most. That's the one where I think, well, that could be a proper partnership. Then again, Højbjerg, the amount of times I think every manager loves him, so it's going to be hard to drop him in big games. Like I say, I think it's going to be tailored to the opposition we play. I think in the big games, you could argue like your Man City's, your Liverpool's, maybe not Arsenal's, but Chelsea's. We might go for a strong 2 CDM, so you could see Højbjerg and Bissouma. You could even see Højbjerg and Skip. So I think it just depends on who we play. If it's a low block team, we might need a bit more creativity in there. So you could see Bentancur and Bissouma, or you could even see Bentancur being partnered with like a creative midfielder, getting dropped back. So you could see us signing maybe Zaniolo and partnering him with a Bissouma. We'll have to. Only time will tell. But yeah, I think we've got some good midfield options. Maybe like to see one more.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're spoiled for choice in a way, aren't we? I mean, we can play a 3 in midfield, we can play a 2 in midfield, we can play Skip and Højbjerg in the other games, Bissouma, Bentancur. Højbjerg, Skip worked well at times last season. You just don't know. Sandro's made a really good point about Gabriel Jesus. He says he would not have worked with Spurs. He would have wanted to be our main man. Just remember Kane, Jesus all year long. No questions asked. Absolutely. Højbjerg can be so annoying to watch at times, though his work ethic and his strength is really impressive. Even with this, I would prefer Bissouma and Bentancur partnership with his attacking output. I think I have to agree.
Yeah,
I have to agree. What about playing 2 centre-backs to put Richarlison as a centre attacking mid? Again, I think it just depends on the game. I don't think Conte is going to switch up the 5 at the back too often, but I think if he does switch it up, I think it will be to do with the midfield and the strikers, not the defenders. I think we won't go to a 4 at the back often. I think we'll be either doing a 5-3-2 or a 5-2-2-1 or a 5-2-3 or, I think there's going to be those formations.
I was going to say, James, as well, I think it might be an interesting talking point. Could you see Kulusevski maybe dropping in the middle, maybe playing a bit deeper? Because he is quite a creative player. And let's not forget, he's a big guy, he's tall, he's strong. And his work rate off the ball is phenomenal. You always see him reading the play and winning the ball back. So for me, that's always an option. Potentially, if we're playing a 3, I could see definitely Kulusevski playing centrally.
100%. Yeah, I would agree. I would genuinely agree with that. Jack, let's talk about it then. Who is your Golden Boot winner and why?
Okay, right. For me, it's going to be out of 3 players. I'm going to drag it out a bit because why not? Let's make it exciting. So you've got Mohamed Salah from Liverpool. Always seems to get the goals. For me, he's not even in my fantasy football team at the minute, believe it or not, but he always finds a way to score goals. He's on penalties. He creates space for himself, and he's just their main man. He signed a long-term new contract, getting a lot of money, and Liverpool fans love him. He's a great player to watch. He's also out of Erling Haaland, the new boy, the main man, the young talent, the golden boy. He's just, he's an absolute animal. Tall, strong, great in the air, absolute thunderous left foot. But then again, will he adapt to the Premier League? I'm not so sure. He's had not the best injury record as well. I think it might take him a bit longer to adapt than people think. And then my third option, who is, in my opinion, going to win the Golden Boot. And it's not from a biased point of view. It's from a world-class player point of view. His creativity is unbelievable, but his main threat is his goal scoring. He can score from anywhere, and he's incredibly good in one-on-one situations, and that is Harry Kane. I've said it before. I think he's going to have a 25-plus goal season. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think Antonio Conte's plans are solely focused on making sure Harry Kane has the best attacking output as possible. I think he's going to be I honestly think he's going to be the Golden Boot winner. I think Son definitely has something to say about it, but I feel this season Son's going to be focusing on as much creativity as goal scoring. They're going to work together as they always do. But for me, Harry Kane is going to win the Golden Boot.
And you can't argue with what you just said there. I mean, he can score from anywhere, like you said. You saw it against Rangers where he scored in the box, but two different finishes. One was like volley, one was just out of nothing. Beats Connor Goldson, puts it top right. I mean, the guy's finishing has got to be up there in the best in world football. There's no questions asked. I think it just depends on his start. Like Harry Kane can start the season very slowly, as we know. He's got a bit of a August and September curse where he doesn't really like to score in those months, and then suddenly the goals flow by Christmas. And we say it every year. I think it depends on Harry Kane's start. But I would honestly say I don't honestly, I cannot wholeheartedly say I think Harry Kane's going to be top scorer. And the reason why I tell you why is because I don't think his game style is going to change much this season in our team. I think he's still going to play from deep. I still think he's going to create a lot of goals. I think he's probably even going to be up there in the Playmaker award in terms of most assists, like he was again last season. But for me, I think the fact that he drops deep so often and he want to almost be part of the, the main part of the Conte project, which I think he knows he is, I think he's going to drop deep more. I don't think he's going to be the Harry Kane of 2016-17 where he would stay up front and score the goals and get a Golden Boot. I honestly think he's going to score 15 to 20, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think this season's going to be crazy with goals. I think Erling Haaland's going to be up there. I'll be honest. I think he's going to absolutely smash it. There's doubts over the way he's going to play in terms of counter-attacking football, where he'd get in behind the lines against teams in Bundesliga for Dortmund. But Man City, obviously, they're going to come across a lot of low-block teams. I don't think that's going to matter. I think the guy's an absolute animal. He is ridiculous, Erling Haaland. He's already scored in the friendly within minutes. He is honestly going to score. Erling Haaland, for me, is going to score at least 20 goals this season. Is that going to be enough for Golden Boot? I've obviously got to make a decision on this video, but I think that he's going to honestly be scoring more than Kane, if I'm being honest. I think Erling Haaland will. I honestly think Son is going to score more goals than Kane again. I think Heung-min Son he was ridiculous last season, and I think Kane and Son are almost level on par in terms of how good they are, but I just think because Kane drops deeper, I would honestly see Son scoring more goals this season, especially when Kulusevski is assisting, maybe even Bissouma comes and assists some goals. The wing backs are going to help Son more with the drag backs, cut down, run down the line, cut back, Son with the finish. I think we're going to see a lot more of that this season. I can see Heung-min Son scoring as many goals as he did last season.
Okay. That is interesting. So you're going to say that Heung-min Son is going to score more goals right now than Harry Kane next season in the Premier League?
My top three Golden Boot next season. I'm going to be optimistic, but also don't forget what I said about Haaland and how much I've rated him. I'm going to say
we like it.
I'm going to say Son is going to be Golden Boot winner. Then I'm going to say Erling Haaland is going to be very close. I think they could even draw. That's how close I think it will be. And I think Kane will be third. And I think we could see Gabriel Jesus and Nunes coming in fourth and fifth.
Nunes, really? You've said Nunes. I wasn't even going to mention him personally because I think he's a player that's going to need time for that. But you like him?
Yeah, I think he scored 4 goals in one preseason game. Again, it's only preseason, but I think the guy's been signed for a reason. I don't think the Liverpool recruitment's silly. Every time Liverpool get rid of one big player, like they did with Coutinho, they replaced him with not necessarily a like-for-like player, but they got in Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. Fantastic business. They've got rid of Mane, who clearly wanted to leave. They've got in Nunes. There's a reason for that. This guy is clearly a very good player. I think it is a gamble, but I don't think it's as much of a gamble as people think. I really, really do think Nunes is going to be a very good player. I guess the only one I haven't really mentioned is Salah, maybe Ronaldo. I just don't think Ronaldo's fully settled at Man United. We don't even know if he's going to stay there. I think with Salah, I think he's still obviously ridiculous, but I just think that Salah, is it fair to say he's maybe had his better seasons? Maybe not. Maybe that's harsh, but I think my top three, like I said, is Son, Haaland, and Kane for the top scorers in the Premier League this season.
Son number one.
I've got to go Son number one, like at the end of the day.
Wow.
But like I said,
how many goals?
I think Son will score 24.
Okay, I like it. I really like it. I think
because if you think about it, I'm pretty sure he scored 22 last season or 23, right? And you said it was a low-scoring season. If he can get 24, then that's phenomenal. And the other thing you've got to consider is I think Son was injured for a little bit last season. Not many games, though. He did, we got away with it in terms of injuries last season. But he did go on a bit of a dry patch as well at the start of the calendar year. I don't think 24 goals it's a phenomenal effort. But in 38 games, if he can play even 36 games, it's a goal every, 0.75 games. I think that's doable for Heung-min Son.
Yeah, doable, 100%. I see Son having probably a 20, about the 18 to 20 goal season, maybe 18 to 22. And I see Harry Kane scoring 22 to 30 goals next season. I really do.
Love it. Let's catch up on chat quickly. Sandro is saying, I have Salah, Son, and Haaland in my fantasy team. Salah is good, but massively drops off past January. Haaland is not the perfect striker for City and did have injury problems last season, missing vital games. Interesting. Lewandowski beat Haaland in the Bundesliga Golden Boot comfortably, even with Schick pulling good numbers. I think the comparison between Kane and Lewandowski is a very good one. So I guess Finn's hinting that he doesn't think Haaland, unless he gets unreal service, I don't see Erling topping him. If we get Zaniolo, it might lead to one staying up more and having more chances to score. Now, but like James said, last season was a low-scoring season. Going back to Jack saying 25 for Kane, that's not so absurd. There's 38 games in a season. Let's all not forget that. You should have seen Haaland against Bayern. He looked really out of place. It would take a while for him to mould into a City striker. Honestly, guys, right. I really think Haaland is going to smash the Premier League. A lot of people have doubts on him. I think he's going to be ridiculous. I've watched him a long time for Dortmund, and I understand how he plays. I know he plays off the last man. He runs in behind, almost he's on the halfway line sometimes, and it's a counter-attack. But I know City are going to get low-block teams, but he is so good at even running with the ball. He's like 6'4". He's a giant, and he's so physical. That's going to suit the Premier League as well.
I'd argue, isn't it? And I can totally see both sides, and I quite like the comment from Billy and Ainami, because I think, don't forget, Pep Guardiola, it takes a while for his players to get into his system. They've got a mold, they all work together, and you've got to be on his wavelength. Will Haaland fit straight in and be able to work with that press, be able to he likes to build the play up from the back, play the ball to the wings, sometimes come centrally, mix it up. Haaland, will he get that in the first 3 months, like come straight away and tear it up? I'm not so sure. I think he's going to be a fantastic signing for City. He's definitely one of the best players in the world. I don't think it's going to come as quick as you say it will. But only time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be an interesting season in terms of what the most common kind of opinion is on this. I guess in terms of maybe the favourites, Haaland. Most people are saying Haaland in terms of. I've just searched on Google in terms of who's the favourite. Haaland is top. Salah is second. Kane is third. Nunez is fourth. Son is fifth. Jesus is sixth. Ronaldo seventh. Sterling eighth. Jota ninth. Diaz 10th. Vardy 11th. And it goes on to like
Eddie. I really like Diaz.
Eddie and Nketiah and stuff like that. I mean, that's getting ridiculous. I just think, wow, I'm surprised Nunez is stronger than Son. I guess that's the Liverpool fans getting too hyped. I think people underrating Nunez. Says Sandro, the Portuguese league is so disrespected. Just remember how many legends have come out of there. Man City have Ederson, Diaz, Cancelo, Bernardo, who dominate. Is Bernardo Silva going to Barcelona, by the way? Is that going to happen?
He's been. I have heard that it looks like it will happen. To be fair, but then that was from I think Gerard Moreno. Is it? Some people say it's a reliable source. So that could happen. I really like Bernardo Silva as a player. I think when he was linked with Spurs, I would have had him in a heartbeat. Creative, goal scorer, so tricky. His dribbling is mesmerising. So I really like him. But anyway, that's steering off topic.
Kane got golden boot during Mourinho's season despite dropping deep and playing defensive football. Archie, it's a good point. It kind of is a very good counter argument to what I'm saying. I mean, at the end of the day, we finished 7th in Mourinho football, and Kane got top playmaker and top goal scorer. So you're very right. But I think a lot of the reason for that is, my argument back would be the fact that Son probably wasn't the best that season. I mean, he still had a great season, but he wasn't like the highest he was last season. So Kane did, score a lot of our goals. Almost like, it was ridiculous that, wasn't it? Like almost half our goals. Not to mention Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes. I don't know why I've said Fernandes like that FIFA commentator. It does my head in. Militao, João, Felix, etc.
To be fair, Portuguese league is definitely underrated. Like we even saw Bruno Fernandes, and he come in his first season absolutely tore it apart. So it's a very credible point. I just feel like as a striker, it's very hard to come in your first season and absolutely tear it up. I think he might need a bit of bedding in. I think it's a bit different. He's got a lot of pressure on him as well. Don't forget, it's not like a player who's been bought for a small fee that has got nothing to lose. It's about, I think it was like riding to 90 million euros, James, or 100 million euros. That's a lot of pressure on a young striker coming into the Premier League. So that's the only reason why I'm a bit sceptical on this signing. Not for the long term, to come in straight away.
Yeah, very true, I guess. Gedson Fernandes. Oh dear. I mean, our centre-back came from Portugal too, yeah. Eric Virgil van Dijk, as Leo's put. Smashing it at Galatasaray is Gedson Fernandes. But guys, I guess the only question we haven't asked is, who do you guys think is going to be the Golden Boot winner this season? Whack it in the chat right now. We'll get it on screen. Simple, one-word answer, whoever your top scorer is, and maybe give it a little reasoning after if you've got the time. But, Jack, just to confirm, you've gone Kane. I've gone Son by the skin of his teeth over Haaland, who I think is going to have a very good season. Let's see what the chat's saying. Archie's saying, but the season Kane had the service from Winks in our midfield. Our team is so much better now, and we will score many more goals. Archie is the first to guess. He's going Kane, 27 goals. Very similar guess to what you're saying, Jack. You're going Kane, 25 goals, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I think Kane's going to get 28 goals next season.
28?
28 goals.
28 goals.
28 goals, Harry Kane.
Oh, my goodness.
Provided he stays injury-free. There he is, Leo Ball.
Yeah, agrees. Kane with 28 goals for me and Son with 20.
Harry Kane in his peak season, most highest goals for Spurs, got 31 goals. And even then I was like, we could have got a couple more. He just got picked to the post by Salah. And I think this is going to be his strongest season. Don't forget, James, he's playing with much better quality of players now. Kulusevski's creativity. You've got Heung-min Son in the form of his life. You've got midfielders, Bissouma, Bentancur, who are creative. You've got high-flying fullbacks that are going to be looking to put teasing balls across the box. Harry Kane's heading ability is really good as well. He's got it all, and I don't see why he can't score 28 goals in the Premier League season next year.
Well, Leo said the exact same. He said Kulusevski was 16 assists. Sandro's kind of agreeing with what I'm saying. Haaland, if he stays fit, he's a robot. Honestly, Jack, you all realise how good he is.
I know how good he
is. He's ridiculous.
Let's see.
It's signing of the summer. Forget the value for money. It's signing of the summer.
People are saying the same as Timo Werner. Look what happened there. So you
not as much as this. This guy's a freak.
Yeah, but Werner was scoring 30 plus goals in the Bundesliga. I don't think he scored over 15 in the Prem yet. I'm not saying he's a bad player.
This is different. This is different.
It might be. It might be different. I'm not saying it's not, but then again, always got to be careful. Harry Kane, I still think is a better player. Well, only time will tell, like I said.
Archie's saying Salah's only going to get 14 goals.
More
than that, surely 20. Kane 24, Salah 22, Son 21, Nunes 20, Haaland 19. Wow, imagine that though. That means Spurs would score 45 goals just from Kane and Son. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But Finn, I guess, a fairly decent shout. He's literally so powerful that he gets himself injured. Like the power he has in his legs can't be handled by his body, which causes him to be injured. About Haaland, he's ridiculous. But guys, if you're watching this offline, please do comment below in the comments who you think will be the Premier League Golden Boot winner this season. And even chuck in, if you want, who's going to get the most assists. Jack, thanks very much for joining me as always, mate.
Anytime, mate. Look, glad to be back after a busy week. Yeah, been great to see all the Spurs relatables and looking forward to a few quality videos coming up, James.
Absolutely. Guys, to remind you, tomorrow we have got a Premier League predictions video, which is going to be fun. So not just doing the Golden Boot, but who's going to finish where in the Premier League table. Make sure you come and join us for that tomorrow around the same time again, 7, 8 o'clock. And thank you so much to everyone in the chat. It wasn't a huge stream today. It wasn't a long stream, and it wasn't the most mad for views, but we really do appreciate the likes of A&R, Sandro, Leo. There's been so many great loyal guys in here. Finn, I Complain, Sukil, all the people that have joined that are always in these streams. I really do appreciate it. We all do appreciate it. So thank you very much. If you guys could spare a like button underneath, it's absolutely free to do. Smash the like, smash the subscribe button, and like I said, comment if you want. To tell us who you think Golden Boot winner is. I always interact with all the comments, so please do feel free to do so. And guys, remember, enjoy your week. We'll be back tomorrow and the next day. The streams all week. And remember, guys, come on, you Spurs! Nice one, Sonny. Nice one, son.